Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the life of a true giant of science, a man whose ideas literally shaped our understanding of the universe, Sir Isaac Newton. We all know the story of the apple and gravity, but there's so much more to this incredible mind. So, get ready, because we're about to explore 5 fascinating facts about Isaac Newton that you probably didn't learn in school. Let's get started. First up, let's talk about that famous apple. Did an apple really fall on Newton's head and lead him to discover gravity? Well, not exactly. The story is a bit of an exaggeration that Newton himself enjoyed telling in his later years. The truth is, he observed an apple falling from a tree in his garden while he was at home during the Great Plague of London. This observation didn't give him the answer instantly, but it sparked a profound question in his mind. If an apple falls to the ground, does that same force extend all the way up to the moon? This simple question led him on the path to developing his law of universal gravitation, a cornerstone of physics that explains how everything from a falling apple to the orbits of planets is governed by the same invisible force. So, while he probably didn't get a bump on the head, that apple tree was definitely the seed of a revolutionary idea. Fact number 2. Newton was a master of many trades, and one of them was alchemy. That's right, the father of modern physics spent a huge amount of his time on the ancient physical pursuit of turning base metals into gold and discovering the elixir of life. In fact, if you look at his collected writings, he wrote far more about alchemy and theology than he ever did about physics or math. He secretly conducted thousands of experiments, melting down metals and studying ancient texts, hoping to unlock the universe's hidden secrets. We now know alchemy isn't real science for Newton. It was all part of the same grand quest to understand the fundamental laws of God and nature. It shows that even the most logical minds can be captivated by a little bit of magic and mystery. Our third surprising fact is that Newton was also in charge of the Royal Mint, the place where all of England's coins were made. And he wasn't just a figurehead. He took this job very seriously. In the late 1600s, England's currency was in chaos. Up to 10% of the coins in circulation were forgeries. Newton applied his scientific mind to the problem, becoming something of a detective. He went undercover into London's bars and taverns to gather evidence against counterfeiters. He personally interrogated and prosecuted numerous criminals, including his arch-nemesis, the notorious counterfeiter William Chaloner. Thanks to Newton's tireless efforts, he successfully reformed and stabilized the nation's currency. Who knew the man who defined gravity was also a crime-fighting financial genius? Coming in at number 4, Newton invented a whole new branch of mathematics just to help with his physics problems. When he was developing his laws of motion and gravitation, he realized that the existing math wasn't powerful enough to describe objects in continuous motion. So, what did he do? He invented calculus. He called it his method of fluxions. It gave him the tools he needed to calculate the ever-changing rates of things like a planet's speed as it orbits the sun. Now, another brilliant mathematician, Gottfried Leibniz, independently developed calculus around the same time, leading to one of the biggest intellectual disputes in history. But it just goes to show, when the tools you need don't exist, if you're Isaac Newton, you just invent them yourself. Finally, our 5th fact is that Newton invented the first practical reflecting telescope. Before him, telescopes used lenses, which had a major problem called chromatic aberration. This caused colors to separate, creating blurry, rainbow-like halos around stars and planets. Newton figured out a brilliant solution: use mirrors instead of lenses to gather and focus light. In 1668, he built a small prototype himself, grinding the mirrors and constructing the tube. It was only about 6 inches long, but it could magnify objects 40 times, more powerfully and clearly than much larger lens-based telescopes. He presented it to the Royal Society in London, and they were so impressed that they elected him as a fellow. This design, the Newtonian telescope, is still used by amateur and professional astronomers all over the world today. And there you have it. 5 incredible facts about the amazing Sir Isaac Newton. He was so much more than just the guy with the apple. He was an alchemist, a detective, a mathematician, and an inventor whose work fundamentally changed the world. Which fact surprised you the most? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into history. See you next time.